Is up, everybody? It's CJ Plays here, and I'm back with another Sims 3 speed build. And today I'm going to be calling this house Moonlight Cottage because I'm building a starter home for Moonlight Falls, the world that came with the Supernatural expansion pack. And y'all, I don't know about y'all, but like the spooky season really just puts me in I guess a spooky mood, right? But it also like makes me want to play with the cult sims and makes me want to find like spooky worlds to play in. So, I was like, why don't I just like build a house for the original spooky world with the Sims 3. So I was like, let me just build like a nice starter home. So originally this was gonna be a fairy cottage house, but then I was like, no, CJ, let's just make it a little bit more generic for well, not even just all occult types, but for like anyone. So like technically you don't even have to play like in this world if you don't want to with this house. You could literally just use it for anywhere. But this is like a little cottage. It is a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom. And I really like how it turned out, y'all. Like, the outside siding wallpaper is probably, like, one of my favorite colors right now. Like, I don't know, I really like it. Originally, I wanted this to just be base game and Supernatural. However, I ended up using, like, the stone wallpaper that came with the Pets expansion pack. So, I ended up using that one, unfortunately. So, you will need Pets and Supernatural for this, but honestly, even if you don't have pets, you can always just like replace the wallpaper with something else if you want to. There is like a stone wallpaper that comes in the base game if I'm not mistaken, but I just didn't like how it looked for this build, so feel free to change it with that if you want to, or just change the bill if you want to. But everything else is just base game and Supernatural. The only other Supernatural like objects that I used were just the windows and the doors. Everything else on the inside of the house is purely base game because it was a little bit cheaper. But this is just me fiddling around with the window placement and trying to figure out how I wanted this to look. I didn't want to put like a whole bunch of windows on the outside of the house, so I ended up putting like a couple in the front, and a couple like on the sides of the house and stuff like that. And y'all, I kind of struggled a little bit with the budget, I'm not gonna lie, y'all. So usually when I do starter homes in the Sims, I try to make them cheap enough for just one sim to live in. I usually only play with like one sim anyway, but I know a lot of people play with like 2 or 3 when they first start building and stuff like that, or playing in the game. So I kind of wanted this to only be cheap enough for like one sim, so it is cheap enough. But I also was kind of thoughtful, so I decided to put like a nursery, and you have like a master bedroom as well. And there are 2 bathrooms, which honestly, if you don't even need 2 bathrooms, you can always like, I would probably say change like the bigger bathroom and maybe make that into like a bedroom or office space or something like that. So there's a lot of extra space in this house, and that's something that I really wanted to strive for with this. So it does look a little empty in some areas in my opinion, like primarily by the front door. But I think that's a good thing. I would rather y'all have too much space and not enough space. So you could definitely grow into this house and add more stuff if you want to. You can change the floor plan if you want to. So I kind of gave y'all some options with it. This is me trying to I was trying to stick to a budget like I was saying earlier. So this was me just trying to put down random objects to see if I had enough money for everything, and I was trying to delete windows and stuff like that. Y'all, it was so bad that for the longest time in this speed build, you will see that we didn't even have like a kitchen sink. So I did go back and I bought I think I deleted like 2 windows, and I ended up buying an additional countertop and a sink because we really needed it. And I also ended up changing like the colors of the countertops and stuff like that, and the kitchen table set. I made it like a little bit darker, so it shows up in the screenshots. That's usually why I tell y'all to stick around for screenshots, because it kind of, it shows you how the house will look when you go to download it, if that makes sense. But this is me trying to put together the living room. I wanted to put a computer at this desk so bad, but we did not have enough money for it. I think the cheapest computer is like 800 simoleons if I'm not mistaken. Hopefully I'm not getting this mixed up with the Sims 4, but I think it's like 800 simoleons for like the cheapest base game computer. And I was like, we're not gonna do that. So maybe if your Sims live here and they need a computer, at least they have a desk, right? But this is just me trying to put like the rest of the furniture down to make sure I had enough money for it. I ended up using you know what, y'all, I lied. I did use the rocking chair that came with Supernatural, so it does use one other object from Supernatural, but everything else is just going to be like base game in here though. So, generic looking bathrooms. I put 2 bathrooms because, I don't know, I kind of like the idea of having 2. I was going to have like the second one over here, like the smaller one. I was going to have this be like a half bathroom with just maybe like a toilet and a sink. But then I kind of realized that we had a little bit more extra space. So I was like, let's just put 2 bathrooms, I don't know. Maybe if you have like a bunch of Sims in this house, maybe you might need like another bathroom. So again, feel free to like change this if you want to. I almost ended up like knocking down the walls, like the wall that separates the bathroom to the kitchen, and I was gonna make it like one gigantic kitchen, but I was like, I'll close it off. So if you want to, you could always just like delete the wall and make the kitchen a little bit bigger if you wanted to. So you have options. But this is me just going to the bedroom, and I'm just going to like switching through like all the swatches because like, I don't know, y'all. I know I use this bed a lot, but it's a really good base game bed, right? I like the iron, is it iron steel, like the bars on the bed, like the bed frame. I like the metal bed. It's metal bed frame, CJ. Anyway, I was really trying to fiddle around with the swatches to kind of make it look nice. You'll see in the video, like right now, everything is kind of blue. Like the wallpaper is blue, the bedroom is blue. I promise y'all, I change it later on in the video, like towards the very end of the video. I ended up changing it to be green, so it's green wallpaper. It's still like the same wallpaper. I just turned like the blue part to make it like a green, and I also ended up changing the bed sheets in here to be green, and the nursery in the kids room is also going to be a little bit green. I kind of wanted it to somewhat match with the outside of the house. I don't always do that, but I kind of wanted it to match in this case because I really like the green color on the outside, and I just didn't like the idea of the house being green on the outside and blue on the inside. So I ended up changing it, but again, you can always change it back if you want to. I don't really mind. And it took me like a really long time to settle on a rug for this bedroom, so you'll see me like fiddling around with it, going back and forth. It was a whole entire creative process, and it took me way too long, but I ended up settling on one. Again, it does change. I think I made it like a brown or something like that, or I can't remember, like a tan color, but I ended up changing it later on in the video. This house is not much. It doesn't have like a lot of, it has like a little bit too much space in here, but I do like how it turned out. I also put like a little toy box in the kids like nursery, and I also ended up putting like a baby mobile over the crib just to kind of have some more furniture in here. But other than that, y'all, the house is pretty much done. When it comes to like the landscaping out in the front of the house, I ended up, y'all, I wanted to use one of the trees from Supernatural so bad, but they were just so expensive, but towards the end of the video, we didn't really have a lot of money, so I was like, we're gonna have to get creative. So I ended up using like base game shrubs instead. I did put like one of the, I think it was like a spruce tree. I ended up putting it down, but I deleted it later on in the video because we needed some money. So I ended up deleting it. So if you want a tree, you can always replace it if you want to. Oh, and then also too, I ended up using debug lights for the inside of this build. Because I don't know. The base game lights that I like to use are like 95 simoleons a piece, and they're a little bit expensive. So I ended up using they're like the, I don't know what kind of light, I don't know what the name of it is, but I ended up using like the cheapest base game light that I could find. So if you want to, you can replace that, but I ended up like putting debug lights just in case, just to kind of make the build look a little bit brighter. I like using debug stuff because it's cheaper, and like I said, it just makes the game look a little bit brighter on the inside. So it's like a little sneaky way. I also ended up using like free flooring for the house. So, you know, it was some ways to make it a little bit cheaper, but this is just me now, y'all, trying to fiddle around with the landscaping and figuring out how I wanted it to go. So I ended up just settling, like I said, for just base game stuff, and I ended up like putting some nice stone down like in front of the house. So in all, I'm really pleased with how this house turned out. It's like 16,500 and something simoleons. Again, it's cheap enough for like one sim to live here. I had Elliot down here to kind of make sure that I didn't go over budget. So yeah, I really like how this house turned out. If you want to download it, I will leave it linked down below. But that's pretty much it for this speed build, y'all, honestly. Yeah, if you did enjoy it, please be sure to leave a like, comment something down below if you have any more build suggestions. Listen, y'all, when the spooky season ends, like when November comes around, just know I'm going to go back to my fall vibes. I'm going to go back and we're going to be building some more fall houses and stuff like that. So if you have any ideas, whether they be spooky or whether they just be for like, you know, fall time or just a build suggestion in general, let me know. I do go back and I do read all my comments, y'all. I know sometimes I don't get a chance to respond to everybody, but I do go back and I read, and I always take into consideration the things that y'all say and suggest. So don't be afraid to leave me some suggestions. And also too, I don't really mention it as often anymore. I've noticed it, but I do have a Discord server. So if y'all want to join the server and just leave me suggestions there, I have a lot of different channels for like all different types of things. You can share pictures of your Sims. If you have like Sim stories that you like to type out, you can send them there if you want to. Sim updates. I literally have a tab called Tacky Townies, where if you see a townie in your world just walking around with some mismatched clothing, you can take a picture of it and post it in the server. Like literally, really. It's a cool vibe, okay? So if you ever want to join the Discord server, it is going to be in my About Me section on my YouTube channel. Feel free to join it. And then also, if you don't know, I am a Twitch streamer, so I stream The Sims 3 like literally usually 5 times a week, Monday through Friday usually. I do sometimes stream like occasionally different games, but usually it's The Sims 3 or something Sims related like Sims 2, Sims 4. So if you want to check me out on Discord and you want to come through and hang out with us and stuff like that, feel free to. Like, we would love to have you. But anyway, y'all, that is all that I have for this video. Please stick around for the screenshots. The screenshots, like I said, will show you how the house will look when you go to download it. You'll see me right now changing everything from blue to green, and I love how it turned out, y'all. Like, it's giving me the vibe, okay? But anyway, y'all, that's all I have for this one, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye! Thanks for watching!